everybody, welcome to another edition of Toddster's Magical Mystery Review. I'm your host Toddster, and today we're going to take a look at Paul McCartney's Tug of War. Yes, came out April 26, 1982 on Parlophone Records, and this is Paul's first album after the dissolution of Wings from last year. This album, Paul got back together with George Martin to help produce this album, and they recorded in Montserrat, the Air Studios in Montserrat, and also Air Studios in London as well. And this album is this is one of his best albums, in my opinion. So let's take a look at the songs. So we start off with the title song, Tug of War, which deals with the struggles of surviving a conflict and while seeing a future without violence. It's a pretty epic song, and then it sort of segues into Take It Away. Sort of like you might say like an biographical, well, just a tune about the rise to stardom, so to speak. Check out the video as well, which features Ringo, George Martin, and the War Doctor himself, John Hurt. And it's, as far as the tune, well, it's an awesome tune, and one of my favorite solo songs of his. And then we go into Somebody Who Cares. Yes, this is a this is a very touching song, especially those who deal with like depression. It's about whenever someone's in the dumps, there's always someone looking out for them. And another one of my favorites as well. And then we go into What's That You're Doing, the other duet with Stevie Wonder. This one is sort of more into Stevie's funky element than Paul's. I think this is more like Stevie's song, while Ebony and Ivory is more like Paul's song. But this is interesting to hear, and I kind of dig it with this one, even though Stevie quotes a couple lines of She Loves You. And then we go into another touching song, Here Today, which is Paul's tribute to John. What to say about this song? I mean, how can you not get emotional when you hear this song? Especially, Paul, for a long time now, has been playing this song in concert, and does get really emotional when you hear it. I mean, it's a beautiful song, very, very touching song, and so that's the first side, and then we flip over to the second side to Ballroom Dancing. This a nice upbeat number, which with very clever lyrics, and yet he made another version for it for the Broad Street movie a couple years later. But to me, this is the best version. So we go into the next song we get into is The Pound Is Sinking. Another song with sort of like three different parts, sort of like Band on the Run, and to me it's sort of like inspired by the global economic recession during the early 80s, especially in Britain. And then we go into Wanderlust, and this one's inspired by thunder. This one inspired by an incident while Paul was making the London Town album, and Wanderlust was the boat was the name of the boat that that he was sailing in the Virgin Islands, and this one's inspired by an incident of an uptight captain who smelt some pot on his boat. But yeah, it's a wonderful song, great with a great brass arrangement, and then we get into Get It, and this is a duet with Cole Perkins. Yeah, great duet, nice song, and then it goes into a link, Be What You See, in which we hear Paul singing through a vocoder or vocator, or whatever it is, you know, the little effect that makes you sound like a robot. You know what I mean. Which is nice to hear. And then we go into Dress Me Up as a Robber, and there's more of a disco type number, even though by this time disco was out. But yeah, which I kind of dig this more than you know, let's say Good Night Tonight or any of his disco numbers. But yeah, and then we finally end the album with the big hit single, and Ebony and Ivory. Yes, his famous duet with Stevie Wonder, and I guess Paul was inspired by a quote by Spike Milligan, which he sort of compares, you know, racial harmony to a keyboard on a piano. You know, the black keys and the white keys live together in perfect harmony, something like that. And you know, love it or hate it, it's a very fascinating record, even though it's a tiny bit corny. But hey, I like a bit of corniness every now and then. But yeah, so that's the album. So, and you know, as I said, this is one of Paul's best albums in a very long time, and not a bad song in here. They're all great. You know, to me, this album's right up there with Band on the Run, and Ram. So as far as my rating, I'm gonna give this 4 Pauls out of 5. Yes, 4 Pauls for Tug of War. So, my name is Toddster, and you just watched another Magical Mystery Review, and we'll see you next time. Until then, toodaloo!